Okay, here we go. Alright, so yes, we are playing some Rug, and we're streaming this on the Twitch for all the people that I'm sure are watching. And yeah, we're probably recording it for YouTube as well. Alright, so today we're playing some URb Delver, and I was just thinking about how I want to build this, and I do want Unholy Heat, I think, in the main deck over Chain Lightning, but we'll see if I regret that. So I just am doing the 3 Minsc and Boo thing in the sideboard, and so given that, what else do I want? Well, I don't have room in the main deck for Brazen Borrower. We've got 6 removal spells, and so against a match like Elves, we're going to try to get there with 6 removals and 2 submerges and the 3 Minsc and Boos. And then I think against Death and Taxes, without a sweeper, we could maybe be okay. And then without Brazen Borrower, what we do want an answer to Merit Lodge, and so in the Submerge slot, you could have some kind of End the Festivities or some such. But instead, we're going to try this Submerge plan here, and just do it up with, like this. Okay. And yeah, the goal today's gameplay is to not get angry or upset about anything that happens, and just try to make some high percentage plays. It's easier said than done. But with that said, we're just going to go ahead and get in there. Guess I'm going to kill the sound here. And, okay. Yep. So, we're gonna try to get through 2 leagues tonight, although that's pretty ambitious. If I somehow get through this Rug Delver League, then of all the crazy mid-range brews I've been trying out, I think Punishing Dak is my second. Well, I mean, it's the best crazy brew I've got going. So maybe we'll get to play this later. Alright, so we are on the draw for round 1 here against Phyrexian Wombat. Well, this hand is not great against unfair strategies, but they are mulliganing to 6. So they're probably on Reanimator. I'm just going to hope they're not on Reanimator. Maybe this hand is a little soft here. It looks increasingly like they're on Reanimator. Alright, let's draw some blue cards. That's a blue card. I feel like they're pretty guaranteed to be on Reanimator, and I want to use this Mishra's Bauble on myself. Okay. And I'm going to call that a shuffle. Entombed. It sure seems like they're on Reanimator, but I have no idea what's going on over there. So we'll play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Maybe they're waiting for me to get a creature into play to have some kind of Archon of Cruelty blowout. Here's the Entomb. Okay. I guess they're not under any huge rush. I guess keeping the kind of hand that I did, just knowing that Reanimator is the best deck in the meta, is a little foolish. So I could lightning bolt them in response and try to get some kind of. I mean, it does limit them to. Well, I guess maybe what they'll do is activate Gristlebrand twice. I guess that seems pretty unlikely. But probably the best shot that I have to win. It seems even less likely they activate Gristlebrand now. Dark Ritual. See, that's one thing about Delver as a strategy. Just compared to the Punishing deck that I like. I mean, there's just a lot of cards in this deck that don't do anything against Reanimator, but I've been assured that Delver is a good deck in this, metagame. Well, there's a chance that we'll hit Delirium here, huh? Almost cast the wrong one. We're not going to get Delirium, and we are quite dead. I suppose I could Brainstorm into 2 more bolts. No, they're at 8 because they gained 2. I think is what happened there. Yeah, they discarded 2 Archon of Cruelties. They're probably about to reanimate. Well, they can't reanimate, so that is something. I suppose I could draw any kind of cantrip here and then get a 7/7 Murktide into play, and then we're still playing this game. But, I mean, I would imagine they would be able to gain life and then get their Archon of Cruelty out. Yeah, I'm not super excited about it. But it's what I'm doing. It's what I signed up for. I would say that chances are slim that they don't have another reanimation spell. Okay, we'll go ahead and scoop it up here. Alright, so we'll bring in some Force of Negations. So, you know, Minsc and Boo, it costs 3, but it's not just a generic dumb beater. And could in fact draw some cards in a crazy grindy game. I don't know how much Tarmogoyf really matters. So maybe we'll do 2 Minsc and Boos. I think that seems fine. Alright, so hopefully, you know, we won't just do nothing this game. Okay, well this is like the kind of hand that, you know, you might hope to see, so. Start off with a Volcanic Island into Ponder. Kind of looking for like a Daze or a creature. Well, there's that Minsc and Boo. Yep. I think it's worth having for the filtering. So like next turn we Ponder. And then which would I rather get rid of, the Minsc and Boo or the land? I guess probably the Minsc and Boo. So that means drawing the land next turn. Drawing Minsc and Boo just doesn't seem that great here. And I'll give my dude Delirium, so, alright. Might as well keep the DRC a secret. I don't know, these cards are so bad, maybe I should just shuffle. I really don't need the land or the Minsc and Boo. I think I'm just going to shuffle. Alright. The 2 of Minsc and Boo not failing to get represented here. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and play a Ponder here. Alright, these are exciting cards. So I'm going to take Spell Pierce and then Delver. Drawing Spell Pierce is definitely a nice one. And okay, we'll draw discard dredge type strat. Can respect it. Yeah, I don't see a reason to surgical right now, although maybe they've got some kind of top secret, you know, black and white tech. Well, there's a Reanimate. So do I just want to go for surgical here? I think so. Alright, so I've got a Fatal Push. And what else have we got here? A Seasoned Dungeoneer. Some Griefs, a Gristlebrand. I guess we'll snag a screenshot of the Wombat's library. And Yeah, so they have absolutely nothing going on. So I'm not concerned about this Delver flipping because of their Fatal Push. And then so I could draw land. I don't think I need to draw the land anyway, because I don't have a blue card to pitch to force. And they've got all this mana anyway, so yeah, we're just going to be playing Murktide next turn here. There are at least a couple cards from doing anything. Yeah, you got it. I guess, well, they're going to get a chance to do that anyway, but I suppose I missed a point of damage there. I should have thought about that. Okay. Yep, I'm going to slam Murktide Regent. I'm no expert on the Legacy format. I've played it once or twice. But I believe that Murktide Regent is, you know, a pretty fast clock. Okay. Alright, so Minsc and Boo. Maybe this is like a one of, huh? But I don't need more big dumb beaters. So they were on the Seasoned Dungeoneer strat. Sire of Insanity. That's a 6/6. So the Heat. Maybe I should just make put another Lightning Bolt in here. I guess on the draw, this is a crazy pipe dream. Alright, yeah, just looking at their list some more here. Some Griefs. Doesn't seem like they have that many. Yeah, what is this? One Entomb? Like, how do they? Oh, Passageways. So it's mostly an initiative deck. I see. Well, I think this hand is not as exciting as it could be, but we'll have to do. I mean, if I get turned one, I get turned one. Can all be grateful that's a Mishra's Bauble and not a Minsc and Boo. And I have cantrips in hand. Academ's Awakening. Alright, let's draw Force of Will off the top here. So, they're put into play untapped. It's a little scary. Unmask. They're targeting me. Alright, well, may be in trouble here. Well, I guess what I could have done this game is played Brainstorm. But yeah, they only play one copy of Entomb, apparently. Right? Maybe they'd already cast Entomb in this game when I got this screenshot. But they don't play more than 2 Entombs, I think. It's too bad. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, see, if I had held up Brainstorm, we could have maybe got this done. But, alright. Well, at least I learned some things about sideboarding there. Alright, so on the play for round 2 here. And I'm going to keep. I guess I would say there's some debate. I think I actually will fetch the Tropical Island. Suppose I find Wasteland and no other mana sources. Like, we've got the Dazes to fight for a little bit. So I'm going to be down with that. Alright, these are playable cards. Am I okay without Force of Will? I do have the 2 Dazes. I could always Brainstorm into it next turn if need be. And given that my opponent didn't mulligan to 5, I'm going to hope they're not on Reanimator. If they were on Reanimator, probably dead anyway. Dragon's Rage from the opponent. Okay. So with that being the case, what I'm going to do is jam Tarmogoyf on my turn while the getting is good. We can probably auto-yield safely to our opponent's DRC triggers. Yeah, we'll be dazing back. Protect the Volcanic. So the tempo, I mean, I guess I haven't been aggressively playing Legacy for a bit here. But the tempo, in the tempo matchups, again, I'm no expert, but I think that Tarmogoyf is probably pretty good in this position. Oh, they might have a snuff out here. Okay. Well, at least they have to take a bunch of damage there. Then it's a question of, do I want to play my own Dragon's Rage Channeler? I think that I will, given this Ponder that I can play. The opponent wants to emergency Brainstorm here. That seems fine. Hang on, folks, 1 second. All right, I just had to attend to the Instapot. So, probably this Delver of Secrets is okay. Although if my opponent gets a Murktide, it's going to be big. A Wasteland would be really good. Delver seems a little slow and disposable, so I think I'm going to shuffle here, or, surveil. Okay, see, like a Murktide of my own is what I would like. And we have the Wasteland option as well. So, yeah, let's roll with that, huh? A Reckless Impulse. Yeah, I kind of do want to Daze this, but on the other hand, I could just Wasteland. I think it has to be Daze. We'll keep the Murktide. I bounced the wrong land, though. I should have bounced the Tropical Island. Oh, they still don't have Delirium? Alright, I guess I'm kind of bailed out here. Because I do want to Wasteland their sea. Well, I'm going to attack with Dragon's Rage. But I think it would have been an easy choice to, well... Because I do want to surveil what's on top. How many Snuff Outs could they be playing? If I exile 4 things, well, I had a Brainstorm to reload. I think I'm pretty much priced into playing the Murktide here. Alright. Yeah, so my opponent's missing the creature artifact here. I guess if they have their own Murktide, it's pretty good. Alright, it's not Murktide. I'll take it. Sure. Oh no, they messed up. I mean, unless they have the Snuff Out. Alright, well, I made mistakes too. So yeah, I'm gonna Brainstorm here. Another Murktide. Alright, well that is not bad. So I think I'll probably have an opportunity to surveil away that Volcanic Island if I want. But I now have a way to juice up this Murktide by playing Brainstorm and playing another Murktide to get some more +1/+1 counters on there. So they do have Wasteland coming. So I think that I will Brainstorm when they Wasteland me and then keep the Volcanic. Oh, they're going to try to play a Murktide of their own. So I'm going to Force of Will now that we don't have to worry about Wasteland. And then if this doesn't work, okay. It worked. Alright. It's a point for Rug over Grixis. Alright. So we can probably do without Force of Will. And then, do I want to change anything else? Murktide, I mean, Minsc and Boo probably pretty big and clunky. And that seems like the only other option. It's not super exciting, but having 3 lands and a cantrip and some Dazes and a Delver mirror. So they don't seem to have Dragon's Rage Channeler, so I'm happy about that. They know about my Dragon's Rage Channeler. Obviously playing this. Tarmogoyf was crazily good, and that game 1 eating that snuff out, I would say. I mean, I would like to Daze this, but I'm not gonna. Got their Baubles. They got some cantrips. Wow, they're stuck on a mana. So this Tarmogoyf is going to be good, eh? See, it's you know, some people say that Tarmogoyf, you know, doesn't, you know, F still, but you know, I'd say the Tarmogoyf still Fs. Yeah, so we're in a pretty good spot here. If they go land snuff out, that's, you know, good for them. But it's not the end of the world. That is not a snuff out land. And you can have a Brainstorm. Alright, Spell Pierce, not a bad one. So I'm gonna play a fetch land, so I just don't get like wasted off the opportunity to use a Spell Pierce. It seems like I have lands to spare. But these ones are good, especially Murktide. So I'm gonna draw that one. And then I've got a 5/6 beater going on here. And then I'll Spell Pierce pretty much anything. So maybe they're going for Murktide here. Or is it just a Reckless Impulse? It's maybe it's just nothing. So I think I didn't screw up, and I do have the Dragon's Rage Channeler on top. So we'll attack here. And you get it down like a 5/5 Murktide, maybe. But I think I'm gonna be okay playing the Dragon's Rage Channeler and passing. So maybe here comes the snuff out now. lightning bolt. Okay. And I think they did surveil that. No, they kept it on top. Okay. Yeah, you get that. And I believe I need to fetch here to shuffle away a land. Alright, another land. Well, that's definitely what I drew at any rate. So I'll get this land out. So if they snuffed out here, I would spell Pierce and Daze it. Okay. Then, yeah, you know, it's a bit of a baby Murktide. I think the 4/5. Tarmogoyf is fine. Oh, they're playing Gurmag Angler. What do we got here? Okay, now my spell Pierce gets some action. So yeah, I mean, if they have a Murktide, it's no joke. We are looking for a red blast. Ooh, Knight's Whisper. Okay, well that means they can't really play anything too meaningful because Snuff Out's not going to do it, and Murktide would be dazeable. Okay. Okay, so here we go for round 3, and I would like to play first. Yeah, I'd like to keep. The opponent's mulliganing, so I don't know if this means they're on Reanimator. Usually it means they are. Just give me the good luck, have fun. Yeah, so we're just gonna rip Delver of Secrets here off of a tropical island. If I need to heat something, you know, I can ponder off the trop to find the red source. What do we got here? Not Reanimation. Okay. Bauble. Alright, and so now I'm faced with what I want to do on my turn. Well, I guess we gotta see what happens with Delver first. So the opponent's on Rug as well. Alright, they've got all the baubles. So I may not even have an opportunity to heat my opponent. Like, all they need to do is Daze here. Yeah, we get it. Okay. Alright, well, there's a lightning bolt. So let's attack. I'm pretty inclined to wasteland them here and play Ponder, I think. I think that is what my plan is going to be. It seems a little weak just to play Tropical Island and Tarmogoyf, although that board position is good. Of course, this is week 2. So maybe I got ahead of myself and I should have thought harder about what it would look like to have that Tarmogoyf in play. I guess maybe I was a little too afraid of Wasteland there. But they do have Wasteland. So I guess I made the right play, but it didn't work out. Or maybe I'll just draw a land off the top here. Nope. I don't even have a blue card to pitch to Force. But maybe they did their Wasteland play because they don't have a land. Or maybe they have a Wasteland. Okay. So it's one of these kinds of games. Okay. Well, let's attack. And I think the play is to go ahead and Lightning Bolt my opponent's Dragon's Rage and let them Wasteland me. Because otherwise maybe they play Tarmogoyf. I don't think sitting back. I think it just potentially makes things worse. I could have had a Tarmogoyf in play. Let's just remember that, folks. Wow, they conceded already. I was going to draw a blue card. Well, just anything can happen in these Delver mirrors where we're struggling on lands, so I wouldn't have conceded there. Alright. So we'll bring in the Pyroblasts and Submerge, potentially good. So I'd kind of like to keep some forces in just to be able to do something with Submerge if I can't. If they don't have any, like, tropical islands in play. But I can't see myself cutting the Baubles. So I'm sure Submerge will be fine and not rot in my hand. Yeah, I think this is what we call a mulligan. This hand, though, is pretty good. So we'll save Heat for later when maybe we've got some Delirium. The opponent's on that DRC Bauble start. They're sacking. They targeted themselves? Am I reading this right? I can't imagine why you would do that. Well, it's a pretty easy decision to go ahead and just Lightning Bolt this now. Yeah, and so now they're at least back on mana. So there won't be any Tarmogoyfs this turn. Delver. Yeah, so we're gonna try to clear their board out here. Force. Wow, what a card to protect with Force of Will. Wasteland, not the end of the world. They can poke for 1. Alright, let's see like a Tarmogoyf or a Murktide off the top here, huh? Okay, a Wasteland I will accept. I feel like it's a land, but maybe it's Murktide Regent. But yeah, I'm gonna see what they're doing here and not worry about taking 1 from Delver, but maybe I have to now. Can't let them have too many guys in play. They are down to 1 card. Okay, yeah, they have a Delirium anyway. But I definitely failed to think about whether I was giving them Delirium with that Pyroblast. Although I really don't know if that matters. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think we can Wasteland their Volcanic and then ride this Murktide to victory. Well, they're going to see that the Wasteland cometh. Okay. Well, this is obviously a good position. Pretty good position. We are going to Wasteland them off. Potential Pyroblast. And I guess I think it's worth getting Tropical here. I mean, not getting Tropical to play around the potential Submerge. I mean, this seems like a pretty hard position to lose from. If they just have Red Blast and Volcanic Island, and you know, this card in the next, I would say they have it, but otherwise, I would say they do not. So they get a Surveil here. Pop quiz, hotshot. Am I dazing this? I sure am. We will eat up that DRC. I need to get some kind of DRC's eaten counter. It's up to 2 today. Alright, well there's a potential way to cast Tarmogoyf, if it were to be drawn. Alright. Alright, so it's round 4, and we're on the draw. And I'm going to roll with this hand. A little bit of everything except for 2 colors of mana. City of Traders into a Grim Monolith. See, they didn't used to have the keys in the past, and then just, you know, like Voltaic Key like wasn't a thing, and then with the Saga decks, they started running the keys, and well, you used to just, you know, let Grim Monolith resolve because it's just Dark Ritual. And now, with them starting on City, I guess it's a pretty obvious decision. So let's go ahead and force. And let's go ahead and waste. Rishadan Port. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get Tropical Island. Play Ponder. Yeah, these cards add nothing to what I've got, so we'll call that a shuffle. Okay. So we're not getting ported. Chally on 1. Well, I can't stop it. I do get my Tarmogoyf down, and then I can wasteland their Saga next turn, and hopefully the 5/6 Tarmogoyf is good. Oh man, they just don't have another mana. I don't even have to wasteland it. Ooh. I guess doesn't matter too much. Other than we'll get to deploy Murktide. Yeah, but I'm just gonna attack for 4 here. And I'd say we're wastelanding Rishadan Port. And then I'm certainly going to be lightning bolting into Chally on their end step here. I mean, hopefully there's not some crazy... I guess they could get a... Chally on 0. Serum Powder. Well, they're doing stuff, that's for sure. Well, a Force or a Daze off the top, I would take. That's what I have to say about all that. I don't have the Delirium in case this fails somehow. Alright, let's come on here. Alright. So that could grow the Tarmogoyf, but I think we'll have to do that next turn. So do I want to make the biggest possible Murktide at 6/6? Probably. So we got 3 mana. We can probably do okay even... Yeah, I think it's hard for them to get the crazy life gain equipment and equip it. So yeah, we're gonna shrink the Tarmogoyf, but it will grow a little bit. When I play DRC and Lightning Bolt next turn. Okay, well, 4 mana play. What's this? Karn the Great Creator. Well, that doesn't seem too horrifying. They're getting like Tormod's Crypt here. Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, well, we've got just enough. So we're going to squeak in there, folks. Or we'll squeak in there by plenty, I would say. Just yield to these. Oh, Artifact was already in the graveyard. You know, I would say that was pretty close. Yeah, alright, so. Against this crazy artifacts deck. So I'd probably take out Unholy Heat. I guess there's like situations where it kills Karn. Minsc and Boo is a card that could have some reach. Unholy Heat does kill Saga tokens, so does Meltdown. I like the idea of boarding out 1-drops against the Chally strategy. So maybe, you know, Delver's not super exciting as far as they go. Of course, maybe they are on Leyline of the Voids, but we are on Tarmogoyf and now Minsc and Boo. So maybe we'll board out a Daze on the draw here. And so now we kind of have a game plan against Leyline of the Void. They're on their serum powders. Well, this hand sure eats it to a turn 1 Chalice, huh? But is otherwise probably pretty playable. I think this is the kind of hand where if it was like a 6, I'd roll with it. Yeah, I think we're going to roll with this one, though, huh? And probably the card to put back is Force of Negation. I mean, it probably has to be one of the forces, although we're very likely to pitch one force to the other, but maybe it probably just ends up that we pitch Spell Pierce to something, unless Meltdown ends up, we get to sit around and do Meltdown things. And then so that would mean I could draw Spell Pierce later instead of Force of Negation. Maybe I'll just do this. Spell Pierce seems like a potentially better draw later in the game. Urza Saga. Manifold Key. Okay. Well, now I wish I had the Spell Pierce. But it looks like we're going to be okay. I think I don't need to Brainstorm here. Okay. So they're going to make some guys. They're gonna make some more guys. Get an expedition map. Hopefully. I guess it just takes one land for them to activate this expedition map, huh? Yeah, that would be... They're gonna have the 2 mana. So do I want to like Brainstorm here? Like a Wasteland would be a pretty sick draw. These aren't too bad though. Probably 1 Murky Reach good for now. So here's the Meltdown we all know about. So what land do they want to get with this expedition map? Yet another Urza Saga. Okay. And let's play a Ponder. This sure is a lot of what I already have, huh? I think it's a shuffle. I still just want to find Wasteland here. Not the most exciting. But my Murktide is going to be bigger than, ooh, there's a Minsc. So they make a 1/1 Saga, and then a 2/2 Saga, 2/2/2 tokens, and they get another artifact. It's probably best just to play the Murktide here, no real reason not to. It can deploy the Minsc next turn. I guess if I were to get hit by the Rishadan port, I would regret that. But then I don't think they're using Urza Saga, and yeah. So I think this is a good position here. Let's see what they can do. Their life total is just going so low here. So what artifact are they going to get? Is it yet another expedition map? A Mox Diamond. City of Traders. There's the Shadow Spear. Okay. And now I'm just trying to remember if I know what's on top of my library. I think I'm just going to take my chances here with a shuffle. There's a Lightning Bolt. So it does seem like a Meltdown for 1. And sadly, Minsc is like not even going to get to do anything here. Oh wait, it's just an attack for 6, and then fling the dragon, huh? So Minsc does get to do something. Yep. Well, that's pretty sweet, huh? Minsc doing the Lord's work here. putting in its first appearance today. That's what we call reach, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even get to play my second Meltdown. That's the power of the hamster. It's round 5 and we're on the play, so here we go. Playing for the 4-1. Well, I would call this a keep. But once again, I'm no expert. Opponent mulligans. Well, we at least have the Force of Will, because I'm definitely tapping out for this Dragon's Rage Channeler, taking the 2x Baubles and the Surveils. Delver probably just goes in the graveyard. While we find out what we're working with. Okay, it looks like a fair matchup. Another land. Yep. I will take a land from this juncture. So yeah, I know what's on top of my library, what's on top of my opponent's library, so we can just chill for a second. Foil Scalding Tarn. Is that what I saw? No. So they have a regular Scalding Tarn in hand. And it's going to be the Death Shadow, it seems. I guess I might as well see what my opponent's next card's going to be here. Another Watery Grave. Can respect it. Okay. So I'm going to want to play Brainstorm here. Delirium is 4, and yeah, okay. Oh man, Unholy Heat against the Death Shadow deck. This could be its time to shine. But Lightning Bolt, I think I'd rather, like, I would take that other Delver's Secrets now. Seems a little reactive. Alright, well, these aren't all that exciting. So let's get Delirium. So the opponent is not like fatal pushing here. So I would like to Daze Baleful Strix if that's what's about to happen. Yeah, I guess this is a shuffle. Wasteland doesn't seem that awesome. Tropical Island, not super exciting either, though. Okay, well, it's not Baleful Strix, at least. There's a Snuff Out. Okay. Dang, is all I can say about this. Well, I wish I had that other Delver from way back when, huh? Alright, well, we can Spell Pierce this. And not let them see that my hand does nothing. Well, if I could find like a Murky Reach, that would be cool. And pretty much anything but a land here is what I guess what I'm hoping for. That's not a land. I haven't played against Death Shadow with just straight up URb Delver like this in a minute here. It is interesting where I've got a ton of guys with flyers. Here's the Baleful Strix. Yeah, I'd say I have to Force a Will. Yeah, I did use a fetch land last turn, right? Yeah, okay. Well, the fetch land, or the Force of Will resolved, so that seems promising. Or at least it's good that it resolved. If I, like, flip here, I mean, Brainstorm would be the best. They're not playing Death Shadow. Hopefully I can punish that. Okay, Daze, that's a card. I can't imagine. Presumably they did want to play Death Shadow and did Daze last turn. So now, I don't know. Maybe they have like another Snuff Out and are afraid of Bolt, which they probably should be. No Lightning Bolts cast this game, right? Alright, what's this going to be? Murktide Regent. It's looking like it. How about this Force of Will? Does this one resolve too? Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping for a lightning bolt off the top. Daze, interesting. Well, Fatal Push we can answer. If it's Snuff Out going to 1, we're hoping for lightning bolt. Alright, well, we're all in on the lightning bolt, I would say at this point. There's a Strix. Alright, deck. One time. We gotta find that lightning bolt. I don't think I've used my one time yet. Yeah, I guess realistically we got a couple chances to draw this thing. Well, I'm not going to say no to a Murktide Regent. I just need to be sufficiently larger than my opponents. So let's do 6/6. And that leaves some gas in the tank here. A Dress Down. It's probably worth Spell Piercing. Mostly, what I don't want them to do is cantrip. There's a Wasteland. Yeah, I think I have to sit on this Murktide Regent. I mean, it's not like they can snuff it out or Fatal Push it, and then it keeps Unholy Heat as a live draw. So, you know, we've got a lot of outs, you might say. It could also potentially block a Death Shadow. Okay. Well, all I can say about this is you have got to be kidding me. The old 3-lander off of Brainstorm. At a time like this. That is something. Alright. Well, I'm going to have to make use of the Wasteland that I've been given here, I would say. Yeah, they're off fetch lands here. And we could Daze a Death Shadow, so that's something to be proud of. So many good cards. Any creature. We got like 3 lands out of our deck with that last Brainstorm. I want to hard cast Force on this, or do I want to Daze it? They might Daze back if I hard cast Force. Of course, and they might Daze back later. I think I'm just going to use the Force of Will now. But then if they draw, like if they do draw another land, but there's probably very few lands that they can draw. So I think this is the play here. I guess I should have maybe predicted that they had Daze, and that therefore keeping Force of Will in hand was best to potentially pitch to a blue card. But alright, here we go. Well, it's an outrage, is all I can say. Well, I can't control the draws, right? So, I mean, there is not much left in my deck on the plus side. Guess we're rolling with it. It's pretty remarkable that they haven't been able to get a Death Shadow into play. I guess to be fair to my opponent. Yeah. Alright, I think after much deliberation, we may have this one, folks. So I think what I'd like to do here is play another Murktide Regent and then keep the bolt on top. I still have one Volcanic Island left in my deck, I believe. Couple max-sized Murky Regis. Okay. We found the cards. It took a while. We found the cards. I mean, the only thing there would have been like Gilded Drake. Could have maybe done some work. The game tries to make you run through your emotions. That was crazy. All right. So I think Unholy Heat. I think the ability to lightning bolt the opponent's head is just really important in this matchup. Probably Spell Pierce and Force of Will are pretty clunky cards that I'm not interested in. Which means something is coming back in. So what should that be on the draw? Probably a Force of Will, eh? We'll probably just do this. I mean, they could be Spell Pierces, but the ability to force a Death Shadow I could definitely see being clutch. Maybe a Murktide. Maybe just countering Baleful Strix on their turn 2, though, is just so important if I end up playing a turn 1 dude. Showtime, folks. Playing for the 4-1. Okay. It's both lands and spells. So, I'm pretty encouraged. With that said, it's a situation where they may play a turn 2 Baleful Strix, and I don't have an answer. But probably okay, just I think I actually am gonna do it here. If they're just gonna do nothing, because I can just start playing Wastelands next turn, but maybe it just really doesn't matter if they play a Baleful Strix with all these Wastelands that I've got. Okay, I think I can afford to lose a card in a Baleful Strix trade here. I also don't have to play my fetch land first, which I think is good in this situation. Watery Grave. Here comes a Strix. Hymn to Torok. Alright, with that in mind, happy about how I played this. So, it seems okay. So, I'm pretty comfortable just playing Delver and playing Wasteland here. And I mean, I kind of like the idea of them paying life too. So I'm gonna let them keep the Watery Grave. And we're just gonna try to cheese our way to the top here. Cheese our way through. The opponent's making some deliberations. Here's a wasteland. You got it. So if this Delver flips, that'll be crazy. Snuff out. Okay, well, I would say Delver's not going to flip now, is it? But still, no Death Shadow. Okay, well, you know, Minsc and Boo not about to come down here. So yeah, what we really want is like a Bauble or a Cantrip. But I guess I can play Murktide on my turn. And so I will probably do that. If nothing else happens. As unexciting as that might be. Okay. Well, we are getting close to this Minsc and Boo happening. Close-ish, at any rate. Yeah, I cannot get around this Daze. The good news, if they play Baleful Strix, don't have to attack into it. Going to 7. They must have the Death Shadow. Alright, well, the Minsc and Boo strat is out. Dang. So any instant or sorcery that's castable guarantees the DRCs. This must be the Strix. Mercury. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Although, so what I need to do is not cantrip, not attack into this Murktide Regent. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this wasteland. Man, if only, well, we had gotten to cast the Minsc and Boo. So it is a situation, like, you would think Lightning Bolt probably gets it done, maybe. Okay, not so much anymore. Well, if they attack with Murktide Regent, they're kind of, the opponent's back into that conundrum there, huh? There's a Fatal Push. Okay. Yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, we're just not really... This is another crazy game where I've drawn like an insane amount of lands. Let's see what the Surveil is. Take a Brainstorm. And I guess I'll wait until my opponent's end step to pop this. It's pretty much do or die time now, isn't it? So alright, I guess we're hoping to just find a red blast. Install the Murktide Regent then seems like the best I can do. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Scalding Tarn, does it? Okay, so yeah, we like stall the Murktide Regent. Kill the Murktide Regent. Attack with a Baleful Strix. Play our own Murktide Regent. Brainstorm into an answer. Or, you know, eventually all that will happen. And they drew a Daze, we know that. So that's not a good draw for them. So we'll put these on top. We'll attack. Not blocking would be a wild move. Okay, we'll take out Murky Rege. We'll Brainstorm. Play a Bauble. I'm pretty sure Murktide's on top of my library. I guess it's if they like Thoughtseize it, then I can just Brainstorm into ooh. That's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? I suppose it's not the worst thing that could happen. But it's not great, to be sure. Wow, they are going to Thoughtseize. But if they... Now they must have a Death Shadow, or are they just like going to 3 life? Okay, there's the Death Shadow. They are, in fact, playing them. Yeah. Well, I guess that game was less awkward than the one before. Yeah. Alright, I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, on the play here. Do we want to be doing something different? Like a Spell Pierce instead of this Force of Will? I mean, they're playing Hymns. They probably do want to board those out. But probably the one Spell Pierce is fine. And I could go down to 2 Minsc and Boos and maybe play like 2 Spell Pierces. Maybe that's more reasonable, huh? Okay, well, let's go first. This hand is pretty much a certified banger. So yeah, what do they want to take here with this Thoughtseize? If it's Tarmogoyf, we get to hold up the Pyroblast for a Strix. And then if it's Pyroblast, we get to play Tarmogoyf. And then Ponder, probably play the Tarmogoyf. And Minsc and Boo, still probably play the Tarmogoyf, but I guess we'll see if this Delver flips. Thinking hard, I'd say it's a big decision. Part of the problem with Thoughtseize is obviously they're not affecting the board, although they are trying to lose life, so I guess they're building their position to some extent. I guess that Death Shadow just does block Tarmogoyf. They took Ponder, interesting. Well, let's see what we're drawing here, or what we're flipping. A land. Alright, I don't wish to reveal that card. But, yeah, I think I will just stuff Tarmogoyf here. I mean, I guess I'll do my attack first. We all know what's coming. So they do take the time to Baleful Strix here. Well, we get to Pyroblast, and if I keep drawing lands, maybe we'll get this Minsc and Boo into play. If they just him, we just gotta hope to draw cards. Okay, so they didn't Baleful Strix. So that seems good. So I guess I'm hoping for Brainstorm, Ponder, Bauble. Ponder probably being the best possible case, or Brainstorm. Spell Pierce probably is not too terrible here. Chose not to shuffle, so they like it. At least that one card. Fatal Push on the Tarmogoyf. Okay. Alright. Thoughtseize. I guess, you know, I can't not counter this, but it's another situation where all the cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if I could draw anything besides a land here, that would be pretty excellent. But there's a lot of ones that aren't great. Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna accept that. I mean, I don't see how I can not counter this. Yeah, they got a Murktide Regent. It's not, they can't really attack with it. So I'm just gonna chill here. Well, I mean, yeah, if they want to race, we can race. Alright, well now I have to brainstorm. I meant to do this on their end stuff, but it doesn't really matter. Alright. Well, every game was crazy. Maybe they'll shuffle. They didn't shuffle. I feel like it would be great justice to rip Minsc and Boo. They're not attacking. Oh my god. And it definitely is better if they have some kind of removal spell. I can't believe I ripped the Minsc and Boo. Wow. Well, I don't know if anyone's watching. But, yeah, that is why they call it magic. That was crazy. I mean, I did deserve a draw at some point. But, you know, that's just what we play Minsc and Boo for. Though the opponent really blundered when they didn't wasteland me. So it was fairly lucky in that way. Tarmogoyf wouldn't have been great either, so I don't know why they didn't wasteland me there. Alright, well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks.